emails that I received yesterday from Thomas Schoenberger and Lucian Greaves, aka Doug Mesner, aka Doug Masico, as aka Johnny Dub, and this Chris McKimpsey Jones, the dude from Australia. I decided to actually do a live today and actually deal with this stuff because I know that a lot of people are not actually going to do their own research. When I say that this is government, why I did this is because Chris McKempsey Jones yesterday informed me that he's part of the Australian government. He couldn't possibly be a child trafficker because he's involved. So, of course, my question was, are you one of the dickheads that made Fiona Barnett's life a living fucking hell? And it's interesting that Thomas Schoenberger is working with Lucian Greaves as Johnny Dub and this Chris McKempsey Jones that's down in Australia, who was involved with Ella High Priest and the Blood Diamond trafficking. And do I think that you can be a fucking criminal and work for the government? You're absolutely fucking right, dude. You're right. I do. Yes, I do. So I put links in the description. You can see the links for yourself. There's 4 of them. Who do you think can blow up a fucking gas station and get the sheriff to lie about it? Who else? And the whole shit about Earling, Iowa gas station is in there. The whole thing about Owen is in there. The email exchange that I had with Neil is in there. Shelby County, Iowa Sheriff Neil Gross is in there. Shane Bugby, who helped set up Lucian Greaves' satanic temple that is now a nonprofit. So there's all kinds of money flowing through there that nobody fucking can figure out where it's coming from. You know, that's the good thing about nonprofits. That's what churches are able to do. You know, funnel money any way that they want. And the first one is how Doug Mesner and Thomas Schoenberger are working together. I wasn't the one who actually was behind the Vice thing that I have in there. I certainly wasn't in the car with Thomas when he did his weird ass video driving through the fucking desert. I'm just pointing this shit out. I'm just the one who's actually letting people see. But I'm the crazy one, and they're the ones who are telling the truth. They're the ones who are honest. You know? It started off yesterday by this Chris McGimsey Jones or whatever the fuck his name is from Australia telling me, oh, you seem upset. You need to meditate. They dance around because they're government. Who else can traffic kids and get away with it? Who was behind the sweetheart deal for Jeffrey Epstein? The government. Who was the one who actually protected P. Diddy, Weinstein, all of the rest? The government. You know? But we can't say that the government is involved in anything because they don't do anything. They're not involved with anything. You know? The stuff that Fiona Barnett went down in Australia, it was just rogue people. It wasn't the government. You know? Who can fucking murder Isaac Cappy and then promote a deluxe 2 CD set of his suicide? Something I've never heard before. The government. You know? But you're right. All of the government people are just all upright. Because they're in the government, they walk on fucking water. They would never lie or do crimes or anything like that. So when I did the chat the last time, Doug Mesner came in and fought about God. And I started thinking about it. So I did some research. I went in and actually found out, do you know the principal thing that we're called to do by Jesus Christ? I know most of you are going to say, oh, we're called to forgive and to love. That's part of it, but that's not what we're called to do. We're called to stand up for righteousness. That's what the Beatitudes are all about. We are called to stand up for what is right. That's the reason why the fence setters get vomited out. Exactly, Sarah. We're to call out BS. We are to stand for righteousness. That's what we're called to do. Love and forgiveness is part of it, but we're to stand for what's right. That's what we're supposed to do. That's what I've been doing. That's what Isaac was doing. That's what Isaac Cappy was doing. That's the reason that's why they fight so hard. And just because I'm calling them out, oh, I'm crazy. Thomas Schoenberger, oh, he's crazy. You know? And yet, Thomas Schoenberger is involved with all of this shit. He's involved with QAnon, this circadia thing. I don't even, he's involved with all of it. He was involved with Isaac Cappy. He's definitely involved with me. He's involved with Sewer Town. He keeps up on everything. He has his hand on everything. That's how it's working, you know? Thanks, Smokey. We are to stand. It is hard, Sarah. And I'm glad you're enjoying the book, Smokey. You know, we are told to take a stand. And that's what I'm doing, is taking a stand and calling it out. But if you want to go look at the stuff, I even have the official report for the Early in Iowa gas station. I have the official report. I have screenshots. I have the link to the video that you can see from KETV. All of it is in there. I have the whole thing for Owen and the whole exchange that I had with Neil. Because Andy Villa is Doug Mesner. Doug Mesner uses all these names just like his little girlfriend Skills, a.k.a. Emily Thorne, a.k.a. Kara, of Free Range Humans. They're all involved. And who is Thomas working with? Who did I get the barrage of emails? Who was emailing who? Thomas was emailing Johnny Dubb, a.k.a. Lucian Greaves, founder of the Satanic Temple, and Chris Mackenzie Jones. I was the one who was adding everybody else because I wanted him to see. But they're working all in conjunction with each other, you know? Oh, you can say whatever you want, Smokey. This is going to be a short live, you know? This is going to be a short live. I just wanted to actually put out there that they want to actually berate me and say that I'm crazy and that I'm irritated and blah, 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 blah. They all work with each other because they get paid. They'll call me a grifter because I'm selling books and I ask for donations. But they're making money hand over fist with the fucking government, who's paying them all kinds of shit before, and they're using that Satanic Temple after school daycare thing to do something called sextortion. They're getting kids to make videos of themselves doing sexual shit, shit with animals, all kinds of fucked up shit. And then they blackmail them and want money. There's some kid who just killed himself in Kentucky just a couple days ago over it. You know? Popular kid ended up having sextortion. You know? It's the shit that's going on. And we're called to take a stand. We have to stand. And it's hard. And it's scary. And there's shit that goes on. It is rough. It is rough. But that's what we're called to do. And we're in judgment now. We're in judgment. It's like I told Chrissy Poo. Dude, heaven, the dark is about ready to claim you. The sun is fucking frying us. We're getting hit with CMEs like we've never seen before. And it's causing earthquakes and volcanoes. You know? They're about ready to be claimed by the dark. And when it happens, I will celebrate. I will celebrate. Because their evil shit needs to be stopped. You know? Doug Mesner sent out a thing saying, oh, an email that I've never seen before. Oh, they blocked me because I threatened them. I don't make threats. Me saying that I'm going to celebrate when you take your last breath, that's not a threat, dude. That's just a fact. That's just a fact. You know? The crowd of normal is going to get fucking claimed. All they give a shit about is themselves. They're not going to get involved because they don't see any personal benefit to it. Yeah, Smokey, that's how it works. That's how it works. They like to use the legal system against victims. That's what they like to do. They let the perps off, but they'll go after the victims. They'll go after anybody who calls them out. That's the reason why Thomas Schoenberger threatens me constantly. Just yesterday was sending me out stuff. And that they're going to use these lawyers to sue me, to shut me up, and blah, 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 blah. But he's working directly with Lucian Greaves, founder of the Satanic Temple. Hand in hand. They're working hand in hand. They're sending me emails when they're talking to themselves. You know? Thank you, Smokey. You know, they can say that I haven't helped any children, but that book helped a lot of people because that's what I get a lot of. A lot of people actually read my book and then actually connect with it. And all of this shit is government. It's all government. And they are on top of me. They are on top of me, just like they were on top of Fiona. And if you call anybody out, then you're being paranoid, you know? And so I just don't have time for it. I don't have time for it. The shit is coming down. The shit is coming down. And they play all their fucking intrigue games to convince a group of people that they themselves refer to as eaters and breeders. The ones they're trying to influence, they have no respect for. So I don't understand why they're so focused on them. But you want to know the biggest difference between Thomas Schoenberger and Doug Mesner, aka Lucian Greaves, and myself? They were recruited, and I'm a bloodliner who was trained. That's the biggest difference. Oh, they have their group. They can do all their lies that they want, all of their fucking intrigue, all of their bullshit. But they weren't trained. And more importantly, they're not bloodliners. My family was. Of course, Doug Mesner will say, oh, no, you know. But then Doug and Thomas are exactly alike, just like this Chris McKenzie Jones. They're the smartest. They're always the smartest motherfuckers in the room. They're smarter than everybody else in the room. And everyone else in the room is fucking stupid compared to them. That's how it works. Their egos are vast. You know? They tell themselves, yeah, bloodline always beats a cheap hire, Sarah. Always. And it's like I said, Frankenstein always loses control of the monster, and the monster always returns to fuck their shit up. You know? They couldn't get any other job, and they're evil shit, and they're not accountable for anything that they do. They're not accountable for anything that they do. But go to the description and read the shit. Just go look through it. Neither one of those things are that big a deal. None of them are that big a deal. You can get through it easy. And you can see exactly what I'm saying. Who can get a sheriff to lie about a gas station explosion? And, you know, only the government. They came in and murdered Owen, danced around about it, laughed. 6 months later, Shelby County, Iowa Sheriff Neil Gross gets involved and sends an email. And you can read it because I took screenshots. That's what's on the link. You can go read the whole fucking article for yourself. You can see where I got all of those live videos of Harlan. But they never explained why or who was taking live videos that they were posting on YouTube of Harlan as Pootie Twing, who was Daniel Dowd. You know? They never explain any of their bullshit. They never explain any of it. They just tell people, oh, well, thanks, Smokey. I should say, like and subscribe, you know, like and subscribe. But we're called to call out injustice. We're called to stand up for righteousness, and especially right now, we're called to stand up. All of these marches that they had, they don't count. These people aren't standing up for anybody but themselves. They're mad because their money is going away. They're standing up for themselves, not anybody else. And that's how it works. And it doesn't count. And all of their shit is getting ready because the sun is inundating us with so much fucking radiation. It's not even funny. And it's being absorbed. That's the reason why all these volcanoes are getting ready to go off and have been exploding. There is going to be movement on the plates because the magma's so hot that it's moving around. And when it releases, it's going to relieve pressure on the plates. You know? Dude, Doge is being run by a dude who fucking takes animal tranquilizers. They just did a video on him where he can't even fucking walk. That's who we have fucking doing our government shit? Little 20-year-olds who are being run by a dude who fucking is addicted to animal tranquilizers. You know? Uh-huh. Yeah. You want to know what? Take out the fucking military. When they start taking out the military budget, then I'll start believing their shit. But firing everybody, they all lost their jobs. They're not going to have any fucking jobs. And when they get homeless, what the fuck do you think they're going to do? Maybe, you know, maybe they're going to stick them in camps. Isn't that what fucking Nazis do? But I had someone tell me, you know, yeah, he hires people like big balls who are fucking Nazis who are actually, I was racist before it was popular, you know? It's the whole thing about it is that we're not emulating. Our government now is not emulating Russia or China. What our government is emulating is Iran. We're becoming like Iran's government. Our politicians, our leaders are very much like Iran, run by fucked up ideologies. And that's what's happening. It's fucked up ideologies. And people who just stand by and let it go are going to get fucked in the end. You know? That is far more worse and far more sinister. Because we're at the end. We're at the end. That's the reason why they get to go. Because people who won't take a stand against it, people who actually can't be bothered, are going to get vomited out with the bad guys. They're going to end up in the dark. Because we're called to stand for righteousness. You know? But we don't. We don't care unless it affects our bottom line. If it affects our bottom line, we'll take a stand. But if it's someone else or it's someone else getting the shit happening to them, fuck it. You know? And what I'm involved with, Isaac Cappy, fuck him. So bad, too bad. Fiona Barnett, too bad, so bad, fuck it. You know? Max Spears, oh well, too bad, so bad, fuck it. You know? Lori King, oh well, too bad, so bad, fuck it. I actually have it better than all of them because at least I have people who actually are willing to take a stand, who actually help. They didn't, you know? Why I'm blessed, I don't know. But I am. And that's the reason why they will... That's the reason why I got the barrage of emails yesterday. You know? The barrage of emails because they're on top of me. They are on top of me. And I am just You know, when they can pick up fucking citizens and send them to Ecuador. And the whole thing about it is, I bet that dude's not alive. We have no actual proof that that dude is still alive. That's the reason why they're not going to find him. He's not just going to show up. He was. I will not be surprised when they say that that dude was abducted by fucking aliens. And people will be like, oh my God, they're just now telling people that he got abducted by aliens. And they'll believe that shit because they want to believe that shit. You know? But actually taking a stand against these child traffickers, considering the fact that they're in your fucking kids' bedrooms, getting them to do nasty fucking shit to themselves and to everyone else and take videos so that they can sexually extort them, that shit is wrong. I don't know why I need to say that that shit is wrong. You know? Giant Fabrics, it's just sad. Now where are you gonna go? Michael's, that's totally overpriced. Hobby Lobby, which is even more so. You know, the economy is about ready to crash. Fortnite, I just watched a thing about Roblox. The dude actually signed in as an 8-year-old and then said the shit that he had to go in and what would happen. And it has all kinds of satanic imagery, all kinds of stuff. You know, it's called grooming. You don't need to have fucking dudes hanging out in the bushes for your kids. They're in your video games and in your kids' bedrooms, you know? And the shit that they're doing right now is grooming your kids, you know? But, and what will happen is that people will say, well, not my kids. Of course, they don't know what the fuck's going on with their kids, so they don't know, but it makes them feel good. It makes them feel comfortable, you know? It makes them comfortable. Yeah, the government crashed in 2008, and what fucking Obama did was print a lot of money. We put everything on credit. What happens when you max out your credit cards? That's where we're at now, you know? But Obama, there's a card in that Illuminati card deck that is Obama. Just like there's a card in that Illuminati card deck that's Hillary Clinton. Just like there's a card that's Donald Trump. Just like there's a card that's the Twin Towers crashing. Just like there's a card of the Pentagon getting hit. You know? We're just, everything is going to crash. It's all going to crash. We're not headed for a recession, we're headed for a depression. But, and the reason why this group dances around, I had no idea that this Chris McKempsey Jones was part of the Australian government until he bragged about it yesterday. Had no clue. I wasn't surprised. I was a little bit surprised that he was actually bragging about it because, of course, what comes on to me, I start to think, is were you one of the people who made Fiona Barnett's fucking, you know, life? My only good, that's exactly it, Sarah. I'm very good at being poor. I'm very good at being poor. And I'm disastrous. I'm having to come up with $2,000 and I don't know how to do it. By next March, I have to have $2,000. You know, don't know how I'm going to do it. I'm down sewing right now, you know? But I'm not so sure that the world is going to be where it is because we keep getting hit with the fucking CMEs that we're getting hit. It's going to ruin the technology. And once the power grid goes down, who gives a fuck? Because computers won't work once the computer grid goes down or the power grid goes down. And that's what's getting ready to happen, you know? I have shit because I had stuff that I grew up with that was my mom's, stuff with my ex, and shit is easy to get when you go to Goodwills and thrift stores and garage sales. Shit, wait, nothing in my house is really worth a lot of money. You know, everything is old, and most of it's broken. It still looks nice, but it's the value is worthless. You know, I will need to know craft shows, but with the economy crashing, I'm not sure I can trust craft shows because I don't think anybody has any money. You know, I'm going to be doing artwork. I'll be showing people artwork that I ended up finishing because I have panels that I can sew. I'm going to start making bags. You know, I have some time. I'll do what I can. Starving at the same time, have no gas. But I'm used to hanging out at home anyway. You know? Hey, Michael. But the shit that I'm dealing with, these people are government. They're government. Thomas is part of the government. You go watch that Vice shit, that Vice thing. I think it's on the first link that I had. And then right underneath it is the weird video where he was driving around in the desert and did all of this creepy shit. And then the very next link after that is all of the stuff that Shane Bugbee said about Doug being recruited by the CIA. You know? And so there's that. And then you go under that link. The next link is all about the Earling, Iowa gas station explosion. You can see screenshots of the KETV. You can go watch the KETV thing. You can go watch. Hey, Christy. Wanted to say thank you, Christy. That was wonderful of you. But and then the link after that is what all happened when it came down to Owen. And the conversation that I had with Neil, the exchange with Neil. Who can get a sheriff to fucking lie? Yeah, they might know about his fucking drug thing that's going down in the profile picture for this video. That's an email from Thomas yesterday. That's why I say they can't jack each other off hard enough. You know, I'm sure that they get run low on lube. So if there's any lube that anybody can spare, send it to my sheriff because I'm sure they need it because they're always circle jerking each other. You know? Fuck, I finally just told them yesterday, why don't you just fuck and get it over with, you know? Because shit, it's almost creepy to watch them glorify each other, you know? It was just... But I'm the crazy one. They fucking inundate me with all of their emails, and I simply respond, but I'm the crazy one. Thomas sends these emails to Lucian Greaves as Johnny Dub and this Chris McKempsey Jones. So they all fucking attack me, and then Thomas sends me, cease and desist. Cease and desist. I got all my weird ass friends to attack you, but you cease and desist. Oh my God, it's just sad. But they think that they're all government, you know? Thomas obviously works for the government. Go watch that Vice thing. Made that Robert Steele dude walk out of the fucking thing just because he got his name met. They mentioned Thomas Schoenberger's name. You know? Doug Mesner. That's the reason why he can do what he's doing. He's hurt a myriad of survivors. He has convinced these women who have dissociative identity disorder, multiple personality disorder, to kill themselves online. That's the shit that they do. So you tell me, if he's out there convincing survivors to go kill themselves, he couldn't possibly be behind the Satanic Temple after school daycare bullshit to use sextortion on kids. Right. Because he's what? Above that? Beyond that? It just wouldn't occur to him to do such a thing? Are you fucking kidding me? You know? It is what they do. And we are called to take a stand against it. We have to take a stand against it. I'd love to smoke. I just don't have any money to go anywhere, let alone buy any pot, you know? And then yesterday I ended up having to just deal with these fucking idiots, you know? Who just dance around and think that they can't be touched. They act like they work with impunity, you know? And yet me calling them out makes me crazy. I'm the crazy one for calling out their criminal fucking shit. But they'll dance around in emails all the time. And it's not like they don't send the shit themselves to my sheriff. So it's not like Shelby County, Iowa Sheriff Neil Gross and Noah Schilling don't know about the situation. North Carolina. You guys have a lot of tornadoes down there, more than we do. And they are projecting. And that's funny that you say that they're projecting, because that's what I told that Chris McKimsey Jones. Dude, your projections onto me aren't going to work. You're not going to project your stupid shit onto me. You know? That is true, Gov. I told them yesterday, they're the ones who are obsessed with me, not the other way around. I respond to their emails. I never send them emails. You know? Thomas will say, oh, David Shurter is obsessed with me. Oh, blah, 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 blah. Well, fuck, I have your phone number, dude. If I was obsessed, wouldn't I be texting you? You know? If I was so unstable, wouldn't I be texting? Wouldn't I be calling? That's what they do to me. Fuck, I have all kinds of fucking voicemails from Daniel Dowd and Geo Farnsworth where they were calling me, you know? But I don't see the point. I don't see the point. I don't want to talk to him. I don't like to talk to people I don't like. What would I say to him? Any more than what I say to him already, you know? And all he's going to do is lie and project, you know? All he's going to do is lie and project. What's the point? Fuck. I don't even like the emails. But I blocked them yesterday. I just decided, fuck it, because my phone just kept going ding, 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 ding. And I was trying to take a nap because I was irritable yesterday, you know? Oh, I kept them all. And not only do I keep them all, I take screenshots of all of it. So when I respond, I put the screenshots because they're very good at actually making their emails disappear. I've realized that Thomas can edit his emails. He can send an email and then he can get rid of the email. So now I don't play that game anymore. I take screenshots of everything. So when I respond, I send all of the screenshots of everything that they've sent me, you know? Yeah, that's the reason why I pay for an email service now that has security on it. Because emails just have a tendency to disappear. The email where Andy Villa, aka Lucian Greaves, founder of the Satanic Temple, sent me a picture of my house, and then I got into an argument with Neil Gross. That argument with Neil Gross happened after I said that all of the emails in my sent and my stuff had disappeared. But they didn't realize that I had taken a screenshot of Daniel Dowd as Pootie Twang posting all those live videos to YouTube. They didn't realize I had taken a screenshot of that. And I wouldn't have released the screenshot of the house, picture of my house anyway, because why would I do that? You know? But they knew. They knew because they're working for the government. You know? Obviously, Thomas's government. Look at that Robert Steele video that the Vice News did. Shane Bugbee said that Doug Mesner is working with the CIA. You know? All of that shit. They said that they were working with the CIA. That's not all mine. The Department of Justice. How about the Department of Injustice? You know? They all have these three little, you know, Christie's all putting them down in there. Yeah. It's all they think that they can't be touched. And heaven is about ready to touch them. They think that they can't be touched. They think they have control of everything. And they are deluded. They are deluded. Because heaven is about ready. Once the sun takes out the satellites and the power grids, we're going to be back in the fucking dark ages. They're not going to have the power that they think they have. And I think it's coming soon. I think it's going to happen this year. That's what I think. Because the sun is getting worse, not better. It's doing all kinds of crazy shit, you know? And we're getting inundated with all kinds of crazy shit. That's why I say I went and did research because someone asked me, what are we supposed to do? What does Jesus Christ want us to do? And I thought, well, it's about love and forgiveness. It's not about love and forgiveness. That is part of it. But what it is that we are actually supposed to take a stand. We are supposed to stand for righteousness. That's what the Beatitudes are all about. All about. You know? They're money changers, you know? And Elon Musk is a freaky motherfucking dude. You know? But now they're coming out and saying what happens when you take animal tranquilizers. Why anyone would take animal tranquilizers is beyond me. You know? But he is an animal. So, you know? I know dogs who fuck less. You know? And Sherilyn isn't in here, I don't think. I got mad yesterday. I was in just a shitty mood. I'm in a shitty mood today. You know, they're on top of me, but it's Easter. It's gonna be Easter. You know, the 20th, and it's Hitler's birthday. And I wanted screenshots of some of the stuff yesterday, and or the last live, but she wasn't feeling well, and I probably did not handle it well. As you can imagine, I can be a dickhead when I'm irritated. Didn't mean to be, you know. So if you guys would send that dshurtermod@gmail.com and tell Sherilyn that you love her, she would certainly appreciate it. You know, I think she needs it. I'm going to call after I get done with this live, you know. And she wasn't feeling well anyway. That was just yesterday. It's funny how time just keeps speeding forward, you know. And so this child trafficking shit needs to stop. And I'm just sick of their being inundated with their stuff. She is a blessing, you know. She is that she, you know. Anyway, this is going to be a short one. I will be back on tomorrow. Um, Sarah, you actually sent some really good questions. Anybody who wants to actually talk about shit, send questions, whatever, to that D Shurter mod. And yeah, Smokey, she wants to actually work on you to get your story so it's cohesive so I can just read it. Because if I can read the whole thing, at least the majority of it, then people can ask questions and you can answer questions. But I just don't have time right now to actually focus on that. Shit, I'm so busy being inundated with fucking emails from these dumbasses. And so it's just crazy. But anyway, send emails to that and tell Sherilyn how much you appreciate her. She really needs it. She really did think I fired her today. She was like, I realize I'm fired, and I was just like, I did not say that. But I am a difficult, you know. Sure, send me an email regarding people who found Christ. But people who are channeling demons are not people that you should be talking with, Gov. If what I was told, you need to shy away from those people. You aren't going to learn anything valuable from them. You know? Send this stuff to Sherilyn, you know? And she's very helpful. She's very helpful. And so I'm going to pray because I like to pray on these things. And then I'm going to get off here. So, you know, the new age bullshit is just, you know, heaven, we come to you. I come to you. We are called to stand for righteousness. And I ask that you help us become strong and actually be able to do that. And actually stand for what's right. And fill us with the grace enough to know that we are doing the right thing. And I've been really pissy lately, so don't help people not take me so seriously, you know. And obviously I was pissy because that weird Chris Australian Blood Diamond government dude actually berated me for it. And so I don't want to come off as, you know, I'm trying to be as forthright but as nice as I possibly can. And I fail at that a lot of times. I can be a severe dick. And so, but we're all here. Let people read the description and see the truth in what I'm saying. That this is all government. These people are involved in the government, and what's happening is wrong. This sextortion, these crimes against children need to be stopped, and it's going to be up to us to stand. That is what we're called to do. In this time of judgment, we are called to make a stand. Just help all of us. Give us what we need to actually be strong enough to take a stand. And you sent your son, Jesus Christ, our brother, to teach us about love, but also to compel us to stand for righteousness. And we just help us do that. We're grateful. Fill us with your grace. Offer us your mercy. We ask for your mercy and to forgive us our transgressions. We're all struggling, and many of us are just feeling our way around in the dark, trying to find the way. And just provide us with the light and show us the way. And we say these things lovingly with gratitude and humility, and your son, our brother's name, Jesus Christ. Amen. Okay. So with that said, I'm going to be I'm gonna get off of here. I'll be back in tomorrow. And so with that said, I'll talk to you guys later.